Well, we are headed to Spring Mill for the Vintage Camper Rally, and I even washed the old Ranger this year. I didn't get paint on it. I still am so on the fence what to do. I think I'm going to do off-white, which is what I thought last year. One of those two. There's two different paint colors there. Kind of have to stare and compare for a while, but the birds had their way with it, so I washed it. Just hosed it off. I didn't really wash it. So the scab is ready to go. I did replace the hubcaps, put these old Ford Bullets on it. They look pretty cool on there. And then I got the latches on, door latches. But I haven't done much to it since last year. It's pretty much stayed the same. I was a little apprehensive opening it up the way my luck goes. Oh, missed a spot. I have to get that real quick. Because you never know. You sometimes open things up and they are completely not the way you expected them to be. But we have a little surprise this year. Dalton has asked me to step it up a notch. So I'll give you a sneak peek. So it is still a work in progress. We've got everything kind of thrown in it. Still working on it. He wanted to take the go-kart, which we are still in the process of kind of redoing to his current specs. But the state parks won't allow things like that in there that are motorized if you don't have a license plate, a valid registration, a license plate, and insurance. And he's also not old enough to do it. So we have built this little, this used to be a little bike trailer. It had canvas sides. I used all of the metal poles and everything as the bike trailer. We just turned it around. So before, the sloped part was kind of up front, the longer slope. And I just flipped the whole thing around and took the canvas off, and then I built this. Siding came off of my grandparents' old 1972 Mallard Drake. When we tore that camper apart, I kept the siding out of it. And then the fenders are off of a tractor, little lawn tractor. And then we just flipped them the wrong way. And then I just cut the bolt holes off and then cut a little bit of the extra off the fender. And these are Soapbox Derby wheels with the center painted so it looks kind of like a hubcap. We have some tweaking and refining to do up here on the way I built the hinges. Wasn't the best design. I was just trying to do it quickly. Sometimes you get in a hurry and your brain gets ahead of your, or your doing gets ahead of your brain, I guess. But the front and the back lift up. And we're trying to keep the weight down. It's got a little, it's gonna have a little kitchen in the back. Working on building that right now. Little white thing in there. We 3D printed this little sink. So he'll have a little functioning sink in there with a little water pump. It's turning out pretty cute. We're just in the mock-up stages now, putting everything on it, making sure we got it. I'm seeing as I'm looking through camera, this black trim that's on the edges is all wonky, so we need to hammer that down and get that straight. Just not pinched down all the way. But yeah, looks pretty cool. The back lifts up too. Get my hand under there. And it actually has these little props that go, I can get it to cooperate one-handed. Come on, you. There we go. Go into there. And my son wanted this particular shape. So when I was asking him about what he wanted to do for a prop, that one needs to be adjusted. There we go. He said, I want the shape to kind of mimic the opposite of the opening. So that's what we came up with. And they're just on a little washer hook that hooks on one of the ribs. Got a little Harbor Freight. This is his cabinetry. And then the kitchen is going to be on a little slide out. So everything's going to kind of sit up on a platform and then we'll slide it out. And that's also going to be his back bumper. And then I'll keep the rest of it a surprise. But it has some more little secrets it's hiding. But pretty neat. His idea. Totally his idea. I think I've created a monster. What do you think? So we'll see you at the Vintage Camper Rally. Good job. Okay, pull on through.
What they say back at the gatehouse?
Oh, they gave him a ticket.
Did they?
Look at my e-bike.
So they really recognized you as a real camper, huh?
And they put Camper Junior on the...
Camper Junior on it.
That is so cute. Hook your clips up. Yeah. You want... How's that fender doing? Let me check it.
Yeah, I also have half of a brake. This is my back brake.
Yeah, we gotta fix that, don't we?
Yeah.
Where'd you get this cool camper tag?
I forget what it's called.
At the gatehouse?
Yeah.
Did they check you in?
Yeah. I mean, you had to ask because
What'd they call this?
I'm not an adult. Camper Junior.
Dalton Jr.
I'm not an adult, so I can't go up to there because the car won't see me. Hello.
So we had an absolutely flawless trip this year, which those of you who've followed along for a while know that I don't think has ever happened, and we kind of didn't know what to do with ourselves. We were all set up and ready to go without incident. It was really kind of weird. So since the universe didn't provide us an immediate need of something to be fixed, we invented things that needed fixing. You look like you're at a picnic.
I am.
The life of a tinkerer.
It's a piece of cake.
Doesn't matter if we make a perfect trick or not. We've got to Gotta come up with something to work on. So Dad working on his Cushman, trying to get the little blinky light that shows up under the umbrella to actually blink.
My junk
Do
box.
it again. Turn it on again.
Oh. That's all I had left.
Works.
It works.
So this little teardrop camper with the room added over the kitchen area, that is the original canvas. The only thing I did was replace the plastic. But this is a new to us 1947 Tourette.
This guy right here.
Best cook in the campground right there.
Yeah, long get shower.
This is where it's happening back here.
It is.
Thanks for doing it.
You're welcome.
Super yummy. top in there? Okay.
There's a book on the
Oh, okay.
got it.
Are you open for? Can I? Okay. Oh, gotcha. This is one of the hotter ones. Okay, do some license plates there. That's what they're there for, right? Is this your camper? No?
We use old doorbells as well. Switch
Oh, wow.
that's cool.
Well, that's pretty clever.
And we have an electric faucet.
What? Was this your idea?
No.
No.
We have a fridge and a microwave and a bathroom.
There's a bathroom in this thing? No way.
And there's 2 TVs.
Oh, man.
And we got the couch.
A mini split.
Yeah, I made a split.
get in there? Can I pop my head inside?
Can do it, yep.
Look at your little step.
There's a story behind it.
Okay, I want to hear the story. They got little goodie bags.
Bye.